record and share my screen with you. Let me get it pulled up. Make sure if you're not talking, you're muted. Thanks, guys. All right. So we're going to talk about evaluating piecewise. And what I did, you guys will look on Canvas later. You can see that I've kind of backed everything up. So what we're going to do today is just work on evaluate. I don't want to just blow your minds and try to push so much stuff at you. So yesterday we graphed them. Today we're going to evaluate. And then tomorrow we will write them from a graph. So I will show you a graph, and you don't have the notes for that, but I will post them sometime today or well, I mean, it has to be sometime today. I'll post them sometime today. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at a graph and write the actual piecewise function. All right. So I figured we'd focus on that tomorrow. And then that puts your review on Thursday and your test on Friday. Is everybody good with test on Friday? Okay. Now I'm going to tell you it's going to be split up into 4 parts. So goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, goal 4. If you've ever had me, you know how I do goals. I'll explain during the review exactly how that goes, but they are timed. Okay. On each part, you're going to get a max of 20 or 25 minutes. You can't spend more than that on there, guys. I'm not going to do that. They're no more than 10 questions a piece, and most of them are not hard. So like your first goal, the first goal will take the longest. It's graphing. So you're going to have to submit graphs. So that'll take the longest for you to grade. Your second goal is like domain and range. Your third goal is evaluating, which is what we're about to do right now, and telling transformations. So remember how we did our transformations quiz the other day where like you clicked answers and that was pretty much it. You didn't really have to type anything in. That one won't take long at all. And then the last one is identifying what type of graph, what type of function from the graph, what type of function from the equation, and then writing a piecewise function. Okay, so those are the things that we're going to do, but your review looks exactly like your test. So if you feel like I'm talking and you don't know what I'm saying, we'll get to that. So your review will look exactly like your test. All right, so I shared my screen. We're going to talk about evaluating. This will not take long, so you'll have plenty of time to ask questions about both parts if you need it. Okay, so this should be a pretty short class today. So if we're going to evaluate, what you want to do is focus on this value right here. This one says if the number is less than -2, you're going to plug into that function, which is x plus 5. If the number is greater than or equal to -2, you're going to plug into -4. Now realize that we have to have an X to be able to plug into something. This 4 doesn't have an X. We'll talk about it when we get there, okay? And again, if you have any questions, please turn on your mic and ask me while we're going through this, because sometimes it gets a little confusing. Make sure that you ask. It's easy once you get it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is look at this number right here. Okay, each time you're starting over, this is 3 parts to a question. They're completely different from each other. So if I do f of 3, is 3 less than -2 or greater than -2?
Greater.
Okay, so that means we're going to write the function and then plug in if there's an x. If there's not an x, it's as good as it gets. Okay, so hold on that one for just a minute. Okay, let's look at one where you don't do that. Look at -4. Is it less than -2 or is it greater than or equal to -2?
Less than.
Less than. So we're going to write that function down. It says plug into x plus 5. If there's something to plug into, if there is an x, we're going to take that -4 and put it in for x. Just like that. And then you finish it out. What is -4 plus 5?
1.
So your answer is 1. That's it. All right. So what if they give me -2? Is it less than -2 or greater than or equal to -2?
Greater than or equal.
So I write the function. We're going to plug into -4. But is there anything to plug into?
No.
So that's your answer. That's all you do. Okay, we're going to do all of these. We're going to go over them so you guys can see them. And then, like I said, we'll stop and then we'll go over the other stuff from yesterday if you need it. All right, so this one's a little different because it has 2 functions. All the rest of them do. So they all have something you have to plug into. This is the only one. You have one like this on your test. Okay, so when we do the review, you'll see that as well. So we're going to start here. This one says if it's less than 1, plug into 2x plus 1. If it's greater than or equal to 1, plug into that function -2x plus 3. All right. And then we just look at the number inside of parentheses. Okay. Where does -2 fall? Less than 1 or greater than or equal to 1?
Less than 1.
Less than 1 says plug into 2x plus 1. So I'm going to write down the 2x plus 1. If there is an x, we plug in for that x. So we would plug in the -2. 2 times -2 is -4. Plus 1 is, what'd you get?
-3.
Perfect. So again, easy stuff. Just make sure you plug into the correct function. Okay. What about 6? Where would 6 go? Less than 1 or greater than or equal to 1?
Greater than or equal to 1.
It says plug into -2x plus 3. So we're going to put the 6 into that x. So -2 times 6 plus 3. -2 times 6 is -12, plus 3 is -9. All right, f of 1. Does it plug into the first function or the second function?
Second.
Why does it plug into the second one?
It's equal to 1.
Yeah, it's equal to 1. So our second function was -2x plus 3. If there's an x, we plug in for it. So -2 times 1 plus 3. And what does that give us?
One.
Perfect. I need some other people answering, please. Okay. All right. Next. I'm not going to write all that stuff down. If you want to write it down, that's fine. This stuff, we're just going to talk about it. If we have -4, are we using the first function or the second function? So is it less than or equal to 2 or greater than 2?
First
Less
one.
It's less than, so we're going to use the first one. So I write down the first function. And then I plug in. -2 times -4.
-8.
8.
+8. Yeah, be careful. Those are the mistakes that you'll make like on your tests and your quizzes. So just be careful on those. So +8 minus 4 is
4.
4. That's it. Guys, that's all you're doing, okay? So for your quiz today, you'll graph them. So if you have questions on graphing, you need to stay after I stop the record, okay? Stay for that. And evaluating. So you're going to take one piecewise function like this. You're going to graph it, and then you'll have 3 questions like this where you evaluate. So I'm going to test graphing and evaluating. All right. F of 8. Where does 8 fall? The first function or the second function?
Second function.
Why is it the second function?
Because it's greater than 2.
Greater than 2. Perfect. Our second function is 4x minus 9. We plug our 8 in. So 4 times 8 is 4 times 8 is
32.
32.
32 minus 9 is
23.
Any questions? All right, number two. I'm sorry, not number 2. F of 2. First one or the second one?
First one.
Why
Second
the
one.
first one?
Because it's equal to 2.
It says equal to 2. So put the first one down. And we're going to plug the 2 in. So negative 2 times 2 minus 4. Negative 2 times 2 is
Negative 4.
minus 4 is
Negative 8.
appreciate that. And that's it, guys. I'm going to drop down to number 5 real quick, and then we'll work with the ones that have 3 in just a minute. It's the same thing. There's nothing crazy about it. All right, so drop down to number 5. Where does the negative 4 fall? Is it less than or equal to negative 1 or greater than negative 1?
Less than.
Okay, so it falls in the first one, which is just x. When we plug that in, we just get negative 4. There's no work to do. No work. Where does 0 fall?
Second equation.
The second one, because it's greater than negative 1. So I'm going to put the second equation down. And I'm going to plug in 0. 0 is neither negative or positive, so I don't have to write that negative. But 0 plus 4 is 4. Where does the 3 fall?
Greater than.
So it's the second equation, negative x plus 4. And then we plug in the 3. Make sure you write that negative. Negative 3 plus 4 is what?
1.
Any questions so far? Is everybody okay? Not too bad, right? Pretty good, pretty easy. All right, the 3 ones work the same way. So you're just figuring out where it fits in there. So I'm going to try to leave 5 up and move 4 up a little bit. If we look at negative 1, is negative 1 less than or equal to negative 2? Does it fall between negative 2 and 4? Or is it greater than 4? Where is negative 1?
It's in between.
So it's fallen in the second category. It's in between here. So we're going to use the function 2x minus 1. So you just have 3 to choose from instead of 2. It's exactly the same way. We're going to plug the negative 1 in. So 2 times negative 1 minus 1. What is 2 times negative 1?
Negative 2.
Minus 1 is
Negative 3.
negative 3. Perfect. Y'all, that's literally all you're doing. So again, 3 works the same as 2 functions. Where does negative 4 fall? Is it less than or equal to negative 2? Is it between negative 2 and 4, or is it greater than 4?
Less than.
Less than negative 2. So we're going to use the first function. Again, it falls to less than negative 2. And we just plug our negative 4 in. So negative 4 minus 1 is negative 5. Where does 5 fall?
The last one.
Last one, because it's greater than 4. So I'm going to write the last function down. And I'm going to plug my 5 in. Negative 3 times 5 plus 8. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15 plus 8 leaves me with
Negative 7.
7. Perfect. Great job. What if I ask you about f of 4? F of 4.
It'd be in the middle
Why is it in the middle?
because the 4 in the middle one has an equals to sign under it.
This one's equal to 4, so 4 would be in this one. What about -2?
First one.
First one.
The first one because it's equal to -2. Is everybody good? All right, so you're going to kind of probably see that in this one. So here's your next one. We have x is less than -2, -2 less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 6, or x is greater than 6. So where does f of -4 fall?
The first equation.
The first one. So our first function is just the number 5. Do I do anything else?
No.
No.
No, I don't have an x, so I'm done. Once you get that single number, you're done. What about 8? Where does 8 fall?
The last one.
The last one, because it's greater than 6. So that's -2x plus 10. You're going to put your 8 in. -2 times 8 plus 10 gives you -16 plus 10, which is what?
-6.
X.
Now realize, guys, every time we go through this, and I know there's only one left, and you're probably like, thank God she's almost done, but when we go through this, you're actually making coordinates that are on the graph. So this coordinate would be -4, 5. That's a coordinate on the graph. Okay. This coordinate would be 8, -6. This coordinate would be -4, -4. This one, 0, 4. This one, 3, 1. Also remember, coordinates are denoted by parentheses, not brackets. If you use brackets, it's going to look like domain or range. Okay, so anybody that did that quiz and they did parentheses, they didn't do parentheses around points, your vertex point, you need to make sure that you understand that points are parentheses. Okay, that is a big stickler problem. I know you're going to think it's stupid. Well, I got the numbers right. It doesn't matter. That's not how it works in math. Okay. All right. So you might run the race, but if you don't come in first, you don't get first prize. It's kind of the same concept. You don't put the parentheses, you don't get the points. You did it, but you didn't do it right. What about f of -2? Which one does it fall into? First one, second one, or third one?
Second.
Why the second one?
It's equal to it.
Yep, -2 is equal to x. So we're going to put the 1/2. Be careful when you're doing this. Times -2 minus 6. Sorry, I used the function 1/2 x minus 6. What's half of -2?
-1.
-1 minus 6 is
-7.
any questions on evaluating? All right, so again, what your quiz is going to look like, this is your homework stuff from last night, is it'll have this function, and then it'll have something like f of 2, f of 4, f of 9, or something like that. You have to evaluate those as well. So the easiest way to do this is if you printed it. That's what I asked you to do. If you printed it, that's fine. If not, just grab some graph paper and do it all together. But guys, I need it neatly laid out so I can find it if you are not doing it on my paper. Does everybody understand that? I don't want to have to look around. You don't understand how long it's taking me to grade. All right, I'm going to stop this recording for a minute and I'm going to talk to you about that. So stop share.